Hi my friends, it's Miss Stormy. I have a new little drawing setup that I'm trying out, so hopefully it works out okay. But yesterday I read the book Katie and the Sunflowers by James Mathew. And on the front cover we noticed that there is a painting by an artist named Vincent van Gogh. And I mentioned that I would like to try to recreate his sunflowers because every year in my classroom, I typically have my students recreate this piece of art. So, when I read this book yesterday, sorry about the cars, The Lamb and the Butterfly by Eric Carle, I noticed on the back cover it had some beautiful sunflowers. Now look, those sunflowers do not look identical, do they? But we know that they're sunflowers. That's why art's supposed to be different. Artists are not supposed to create art in the same way as other artists. So I'm going to try to see if I can recreate sunflowers, and I would love it if you guys could join along with me. So I'm just going to read a little bit about Vincent van Gogh. He was a post-impressionist. So Vincent van Gogh, along with some of the other artists from the story, followed the Impressionists, and so they were called the post-impressionists. Like the Impressionists, they use bright colors and thick paint, but they use colors and brushstrokes in a different way, painting pictures that showed their feelings and moods. Okay, so we can use art to show how we feel. That's wonderful. So here's a little bit about Vincent van Gogh. He was born in 1853, so that was a while ago. Vincent van Gogh is famous for his use of color, which makes his paintings look almost alive. The paint is very thick and the color is very bright. The sunflowers, which is what we're going to try to recreate, is a good example of this. You can see it in the National Gallery in London, England. That's a totally different country than where I live. He also painted the Café Terrace at night in Arles, France. I hope I said that right, where he lived for a while. It is now in the Kröller-Müller Museum in Holland, where Van Gogh was born. So Vincent van Gogh was born in Holland. See if you can find that on the map. Holland. When Van Gogh was alive, not many people liked his paintings because they were so different from anything they had ever seen before. Oh my goodness. Sometimes people get a little bit nervous around things that are different or things that they're not used to. So I think I'm going to turn my paper this way, actually. And let's see if I can try to recreate sunflowers by Van Gogh. Now, the first thing I'm going to start out with doing, and hopefully you guys can see, I probably should turn my camera the other way. But I'll just, this will be step one for today. So I'll try to frame my drawing. Let's see if I can mark so I don't draw any higher than this so you guys can kind of see. And I'll mark down here. Technology, right? I gotta make sure everyone out there in outer space can see what I'm trying to draw right now. So the first thing that I would try to do if I was going to recreate the vase is I would try to, make my table, because my vase can't just be floating in air. So try to see if you can make a little line across your paper. That could be your table. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be different. But Van Gogh's art was different. And, when he first started creating his art, people were not really maybe a big fan of it, but eventually he rose to fame and became an honored artist. So now I'm going to try to make the vase. So I'm going to make a little bit of a curve, kind of like a smile. And then I'm going to go like this for his vase. And I can kind of use the table as my guide, because on the vase in the piece of art, as you see here, there was a curve. So I can kind of use it as a guide. It doesn't have to be exact. And the good thing about using pencil is you can erase. So there's the little curve. Now I'm going to erase these extra lines. Like that. Now I'm going to get started with my sunflowers. Now remember in the story, they said that the flowers were crunchy and had lots of seeds. So these are the big centers of the flower. It looks like a lot of those petals have fallen off of these. So, you know, let's see how many circles we can make. It doesn't have to be the same exact number. Make it your own. So maybe I'll make a big circle here. And then maybe I'll make another circle here. And maybe another one's hiding over there. And then I can erase that. Maybe I have another circle hiding. Well, not really hiding. It's there. You can see it. And then I'll put one right here. And then maybe I'll kind of do half a circle here. So maybe my flower is going to be a little bit tilted over. You know, have fun with it. You don't have to make yours looking exactly like the painting. It can be as different as you want it to be. And then maybe I'll do a little center going over there. Okay, so those are my centers. Now I need to put my flowers into the vase, right? We need some stems so they can be twisting and turning, and just have your flowers go into the top of the vase, right? I couldn't take my stem and stick it here. You can't actually stick a flower through the side of a vase like that. Make sure your stems go into this top part here, okay? There's my stem there, and I'll do another one coming here. Maybe another one is flopping that way. Maybe this one's flopping there, and this one is kind of arched over there. So I've put my stems into the vase. Now for the petals. I'll kind of look at how his petals look. They're kind of pointy petals, but you can make your petals any way you want. Now normally I would just do this part with just some paint, but honestly I don't have any paint here. I don't have paint in my house, so I'm going to use the materials that I have, and you know how I feel about these. So I'm probably going to end up using these to paint in. So I won't be able to get that thick paint that Vincent van Gogh normally painted with. But again, my art is different. I'm not Vincent van Gogh. I'm Miss Stormy. So I'm going to make my art look like Miss Stormy's art. So these are my petals. I'm going to go around. It kind of looks like the sun, doesn't it? Get it? Sun, flower. So I have a big bright one right in the middle of my vase. Okay, and maybe this one just has a couple of petals, right? Because the rest of them have kind of fallen off. Oh, look at that. Looks like two ears. Two ears, right? And then maybe this one is kind of drooping down a little bit. Make your petals any way you want. And this will have some petals going that way. Maybe some are drooping in that direction. Make your petals any way you want. And this just has a couple. These are the dry, crunchy ones with lots and lots of seeds. That looks like kind of like a tomato, huh? Here, let me drop this down so you can see. So again, make it your own, and there's like little centers on the sunflowers. So I'll make my little centers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my name, because Vincent van Gogh would just write his first name on the sunflower. So I'm going to write Stormy. And that's my step one for today for the sunflowers. So maybe later, or maybe tomorrow, I'll go back in and add some color or just kind of modify it a little bit. So that's how you can get started with sketching out your sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. Why don't you guys practice, and then we'll try again tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much. Peace. Lots of love. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye.